Well, he needed me to come on up to the roof so I could hold his 2x4 framework for him so that he could get going on his apron or the masonry chimney cap that is going to go on the top. It's also been referred to as a bib on some of the websites we were on. I'll show you a picture, kind of what we're doing. The stainless steel chimney cap that we're getting is going to attach to the chimney flues, and because it's a double, you want to make sure that you don't have water, snow, rain running down into your masonry blocks. So he filled all of those holes with concrete, and he put some scrap metal pieces that we had down in there to attach some leftover hog fencing, and that's serving as like a rebar reinforcement. He's going to attach some 2x8s here around the side to build it up. The white foam, he's got it duct tape in place so that rain and snow with freezing and thawing doesn't make the blocks expand and then crack the terracotta liners. That's usually the point of failure in most of them. And what else? Oh, they make a special concrete form oil. We're going to be using tractor hydraulic fluid because it's what we have. And the wet concrete will stick to the wood. So you want to make sure that you coat that or you're not going to get it off. And he filled all of his creases where the 2x4s come together with some drier leftover concrete.
Yeah, I didn't want that. You can break that off when you're done, but
he didn't want a seam line. And I said no one's going to be checking his work from this high up. But this is how high the whole thing is and is going to be. I'm sitting just about at the peak of the roof. I'm like, even with those boards. And it's good to be up here and kind of check things out. We've been here for going on 10 years, and especially this north side of the house, I said the shingles have been looking a little more curved up and a little more worn. We've got a few shingles that always get caught in the wind up there, and we've had to go up there and, you know, do repairs. There's videos about that, but we lost some more right up at the ridge on the hip roof barn. Not fun to get to. I don't know why they didn't ever just do a metal roof once and done. It's 2021, and in about 1981, 1983, somewhere in there, my family moved out of my little girl house, and it had a metal roof on it, and that house still has the same metal roof on it, so that's been a while. So right now he's just wire attaching these posts. We actually had a leftover garden decor item that had a broken piece of this metal, and I said just cut that out so that Bethany can use it. It was a shepherd's hook. She'll be able to use the shepherd's hook without any dangling metal pieces to injure her or cause problems. And I don't advise sticking rusty metal in your mouth.
pretty fine.
Do as I say, not as he does. And I'll tell you, this is why I haven't been up here to film this. This is a lot higher pitched roof than the roof that we did the new shingle job on last year. And this is holy heck hard on your feet, being on that angle in tennis shoes. He always wears these taller boots with the 8-inch, what do you call it? Cuff or rise on your boots, where it goes up your ankle.
Ankle, I think they call it.
Yeah. And it supports his ankles a lot better than, you know, a shorter one. He's been up here for days and it's not affecting him. But I'm noticing his boots are getting wholly worn out. They've done some jobs and earned some money. Boots are one thing that we always shop for the best price on them, but we always try to get him the best boots we can, and he's due for another pair. If you guys know anybody at Carolina Boots, we need a 10.5. I forget what brand they're called. Not the logger style, because he doesn't like the heels on the logger styles. Too much work getting up and down there. Alright, so this is it for the end of the day. I guess he finished about an hour or so ago. He didn't want to tarp it for the night. We're supposed to get some rain overnight. And we don't have the flashing all done down here yet. So we have to put a big tarp on it to make sure that it's waterproof here. He clamped on some woodworking clamps that we have on the block to make sure the weight of the concrete and the form, you know, doesn't slip down at all. It's real snug, but this was a good way to do that. He was watching a guy who was a mason on YouTube, and he suggested putting some hook bolts here so that in a heavy storm you don't lose your cap. And he's thinking because we have a metal brake, instead of ordering the stainless steel cap, he just might make his own. So I'll let you know how that works out. It's the big reveal day. Guy is up there on the rooftop and he's taking off his framework for his chimney cap or his bib. He used, what'd you use, 2x8s?
2x4s and 2x8s.
Yeah, 2x4s around the bottom to have the lip or the edge of the bib sitting on, or apron. And then the 2x8s attached to that all the way around. Don't you get a little coat? Well, you probably don't have socks on. You probably don't have socks on either, do ya?
Yeah, I know. I know, Mommy.
You're gonna get cold.
No, I won't. I'm just gonna... Mommy, I think I need some help with something.
What's that?
It's not gonna go fast.
No, it's not gonna go anywhere, is it?
Yeah, I know it's not gonna go fast. I have to fix it every time. If it's getting so, I have to fix it every time. That could be your time. I need it for something.
No air.
No air bubbles,
I got
pockets.
basically none.
Yes.
See, Trey's got a sweater. Could you get him a little coat? He has no socks on, no coat.
I'm so fast now. I'm going.
You are going.
Bye-bye.
He's got some flashing work to do still around the bottom. And he's got some flashing work to do around the bottom on the shingles, tar and special caulking that they have. And we've got rain coming at about 6 o'clock tonight, it said. Maybe 60% chance of rain. Just a rainy couple of days, and it's getting cloudier and cooler since this morning. So take the opportunity to get this little job finished up here, and I'm taking an opportunity to work on a little outside painting project here. And I've got a little painting project going on right there.
The oil work
Yeah?
coming right off.
Okay? Yeah, I need a screw. For what? Just gonna go keep on so because I was how that thing. I don't need that. Oh, you want it like that?
So you coated the boards with the tractor hydraulic fluid.
Yep. I painted them with it. It worked.
Good. Come right off.
Yep.
Mommy, I think
Hey, it's starting to rain now. It is.
Really?
So you're just sweeping away all the little bits of concrete dust. And he's hammering down his flashing around the edges. So we've got these intricate shingles and they all lock together in a very complex weave, and if like that tab gets broken, then there's nothing to really hold that down good, and then you end up with broken and missing shingles. The tabs get snapped off and patching them together can be difficult. These are Sheriff Goslin shingles. So he'll go through and do some tar. What's the stuff in the caulking tube that I got?
That's what I'm using.
Okay.
When you do your flashing, the only trouble spot is, of course, these four corners. There's nothing you can do without soldering. And this was just a kind of a pieced-in job. So go around here, get along here, and I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a groove and run a flashing over the top and caulk that in a second. I'll do like a bottom and upper.
Okay.
I think it'll work real good. I'll have to tar over some nails here. I can see how there's somebody came through and nailed down that whole edge.
Yeah.
But they didn't put tar on the nails. So I'll just hit everything I see that I don't like while I'm up here, because there's quite a few things.
Yeah,
The
I
roof's
saw.
not perfect. It's lost a lot of stone on the edges all over, and it's not as good as it looks from the ground.
Yeah, well, from the ground, that area above this part of the garage looks pretty worn. I see lots of nails starting to tear through the asphalt shingles. Eventually we'll have a metal roof and
Yeah.
take off the vinyl siding. We'd like to get, I think it's called, it's a masonry type siding. Masonite is what it's called.
Well, that's good. Put one.
It's just a little house. There's not much to it, but it was built well with the materials that were readily available back then, and everyone went with vinyl siding. And the vinyl siding, you hit it with the weed whacker at this point, it just disintegrates. I had a kind of a vine crawling up by the water trough by the deck, and I hit it with the string trimmer and put some holes right in the trim piece in the siding. Well, while he's nailing that down, let's show you the chimney cap or top. He's thinking he wants to do a homemade chimney cap instead of the stainless steel, and just keep working on his craftsmanship. But what is this, about 4 inches?
Huh? What?
Your chimney apron or bib, about 4?
4 inches deep, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a little more.
So real nice. He said he did a little pitch to it in the center so that the water would run off the sides.
It's not a lot, but a little.
Yeah. Didn't go all hog wild with it.
I kind of had to, I didn't want to cut any chimney blocks. Those are actually a full 24-inch piece. So where they came to and where these came to, you'll notice if I would have had too much of a crown in the,
Yeah.
I would have gotten rid of most of my flue, and I wanted a good amount to hook to. And then on top of it, I wanted those hooks in there. I'll put little, what do you call them? Those little binders.
I know what you're talking about.
Turnbuckles. I'll put some turnbuckles in there because of the wind we get. Because I don't want that just lifting off and ending up out there and getting all bent up.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it heavy. I'll make it out of 14 gauge.
He's thinking he's going to do it with a fuel tank.
An old fuel oil tank is 14 gauge. So we'll use that big brake or something.
Yeah. So we were originally looking at the different chimney flues, and a lot of them say it's only allowing for 3 inches, a maximum of 3 inches between the flues. Well, you can't have that because you've got the dimension of the cinder block and then, you know, the flue. So we thought we were going to spend about $100, and then it was, you know, $130, $160, $180, and then we just were coming up short that we couldn't even find the dimension that we wanted. And the local fireplace chimney store, we've called them 4 or 5 times in a row. They don't even carry and cannot get what we needed. We wanted copper to do the flashing, couldn't get it.
They don't have anything.
We asked for tin, they didn't have that. Basically all they're selling is stone and brick for your chimney, for your fireplace mantle or sidewalk, and fireplace inserts. That's it. So you could not even get like a spark arrestor or, you know, chimney cap for the top of your chimney. So calling around, checking big box stores and websites, and well, he's got a big, massive metal brake, and then he's got a smaller one, so he can roll it, he can bend it. He's got his torches for cutting. So he's thinking just take an old fuel tank and do it the way he wants. So I was incorrect before when I was talking about roofing or cement caulking that he's using. He had me pick up the kind that you use for your east trough seams because it's waterproof, and he's using that at the top edge where his foam expansion joint is between the clay flue and the cinder block, and all around the edge where this flashing is meeting the concrete. He has that up there like that to block any water that might be coming tonight, and then the next job will be cutting a groove to make a slot for the flashing to go into, and then bend down. He's, you know, having them overlap each other to make sure that nothing penetrates that layer. On a flat roof or on my other, it's just a straight line all the way across, like what we did on the chimney repair last year. He's trying to use his 2x4 to just kind of keep that up against in contact with the cement while it's drying. What kind of a setup time does that stuff have?
Pretty fast, it's already doing it.
Yeah.
So that'll be the first layer, and this will just protect and keep that. It's kind of going to stick that flashing to the concrete.
Yeah.
So when I put my top apron in the groove, and maybe even mortar that in or caulk it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fold it over. This won't see how tight it is against the brick. Part of that's how I block. Part of that's how I bent it. I bent it so it's kind of.
Yeah.
So then this stuff will dry, and I'll take that mortar, make mortar paint, and coat everything with mortar as a final layer.
Yeah.
Except the,
Then it'll look more finished instead of just, you know,
well,
utility.
all these little pits that hold moisture.
Mm-hmm. It's going to seal out any...
The mortar will protect this, and then every year or two, just come check it. If it's wearing off, do it again. Just keep
Will it kind of look like a stucco finish, sort of? Or just brushed on? Yeah.
It's just all, it won't have much character,
Yeah.
but for function, it'll really, really last.
I'd really like a stone chimney. It's just a plain little house.
These
Nothing
little pits
fancy.
From air, we got hardly any. It turned out really good.
Yeah.
But that'll just fill them right in. You won't have little bits of moisture in there, freezing, thawing every night and day.
Oh, yeah.
That's what gets them. And then we'll build a cap and...
All right. Well, he's been working on that. I've been working on a coat of paint. We had a little sprinkle, so I had to dash everything into the barn and wanted to at least get them primed today, so I was able to do a coat of paint after the primer, and just came across another local table for sale for $10, and I'm going to take that $10 table, match it with a pair of chairs I picked up the other day. The neighbors were cleaning out some stuff, and I had picked up a headboard from them, and when I came back by a couple days later, she had a couple chairs out, and I stopped and talked to her because they sell eggs and everything. She said people been stopping by all day long cleaning things out. So this is a chair that I got to do a repair on. These are some stools that I picked up for $10, and it was buy two get one for free that needed repair. These chairs she was giving away. Take that $10, prime it, paint it, you know, do the sanding on it so that it all sticks. Turn that into $250 worth of groceries. Nice little thing to do. So he's going to clean up his tools, and we're going to go for a little ride. What do you got going here?
I'm going to paint the whole new chimney with mortar. So you make it super wet with paint. And first you go up with this. You don't get it wet first. It won't stick. So you get it wet, and then you use the brush you just wetted everything down with, and paint the whole thing with this, and then all the moisture from the rain and the freeze and the thaw and everything doesn't actually touch. This protects everything you did forever.
Okay.
Just keep touching it up.
So it's not thick like a stucco layer, nothing like that.
Super thin. It's like gray paint.
Okay. Well, good.
I'll probably take this right up with me, keep stirring it up as I work. So I'll start with the top, then do the cap, and everything will cure much slower by doing this. So,
now, what if it rains?
this will be drying so fast. There's so much water in it that.
Okay. I was going to check the hourly and I forgot. I went and looked at the cow instead.
Yeah.
She got up, moved around. She's losing her plug.
Oh. Probably gonna have a little calf here then.
Yeah. Hoping she'll at least wait till morning so that if it gets cold tonight. Much easier pulling a calf in the daylight than at dark. This guy's been flying over for the last half hour. Might be a photographer. A lot of guys show up knocking on the door in the summertime with a beautiful aerial shot of your farm, and they want you to buy their picture.
Here's a picture of all your scrap iron.
Yeah.
Will you hold this ladder?
I told him, I said, we don't have anything picture worthy. We have a rusty metal roof. We've got that barn roof and all our stuff parked everywhere. Or they try to sell us one that was before we owned the place, and it doesn't look anything like that now. Yep. All right, I'm going to leave him to that. I'll show you what I went and picked up for $10. We ran over and took care of that. It was just a few miles away. Beautiful turned legs. Now, here's part of the reason for this. Okay, one leg new at the store is $10. So I got a whole set of 4 legs. And then the table. Now, I didn't realize the table was a Formica top. It's got a layer on it. And I'm not crazy about that. I don't even know where it begins and ends. But these can be painted. It's in good shape. But the bottom is all wood. So you go around, you paint the edge, just like I did. And boy, this has got all kinds of writing on it with ink deal. Maybe Magic Eraser can take some of that off. I'm not crazy about that. But I like that it's a fold down, and it just folds down real small like this. So it becomes like 27 inches. But the way I'm doing up these tables, my last 2 customers were both ladies and wanted a little kitchen table for their apartment or kitchen, and it's just perfect. Yeah. Well, I don't know for you guys if this is picking up on the camera real well or not. I'm kind of on a shadowed side. Let me go on the back side of the house. But it gives it more of a uniform color because it is not showing the difference in color between the mortar and the brick. So let's go over on the other side and see what it looks like. Okay, well on this side of the house you can see it a little better. I like the way it looks better. It's actually kind of contemporary looking or modern instead of just plain. So, great. Well, one more project done.